Hello, I'm Debs and this is Debs Made This. Welcome. I have something a bit different today. I have my spring seasonal Sewist plan. So stay tuned. So the lovely Kayleigh at Fleur has given me some fabric to sew. How exciting is that? Before Christmas, I applied to be a seasonal sewist for Fleur. If you've been here for any time at all, you'll know I love Kayleigh's shop. She's a UK-based online seller of beautiful fabrics. And so I was quite excited when this opportunity arose. I didn't think that I would get picked at all, obviously, but I'm very pleased I did. So I am the sewist for spring. I love sewing for spring. I love that kind of excitement when the daisies are still up here and the crocuses are there, everything just starts to warm up a little bit and the sun comes out and you start to get those like little hints of inspiration. And so I thought I would share with you a bit of this journey. So what I'm going to do, the video is going to be in 3 parts. Part 1, which is today, is the intro and inspo, and you'll get to meet the fabric. And then 2, I'll do like a kind of how I'm getting on and my toile process and those things. And then there'll be a final kind of roundup of what I've produced. So I hope that's going to be interesting. In addition to this, there will also be some other spring sewing going on, although this bit is taking some time, so perhaps not as much as usual. So in about September last year, I pinned an image, I screenshotted an image which came through from Tono. I love toasted clothes. I love the aesthetic. I love the kind of minimalist design. I love the fact that they're supposed to be repaired and like worn for a long time. And this is the image. And I thought, I wonder if I could do that. I think I probably could. So I had seen Sew Amelia, if you follow her, I'm sure you do, but she'd done some smocking maybe a couple of years ago, and I was kind of interested in it then, and this kind of just re-sparked it. This blouse sold out in like no time at all. I couldn't find anything about it after September, so I'm presuming they all went very quickly. So that bodes well, doesn't it? So I think I got this for Christmas. Either if I didn't get it for Christmas, I got it just before. I bought this book called Rocking Smocking, which is all about kind of how the smocking works and inspiration for colour combos and things like that, but there's no patterns in it. So you still have got to use your brain a little bit. So that was the thought that was kind of rocketing around my head. So when Kayleigh chose me and asked me to think about some fabric that I would like to use, that was kind of at the back of my mind. Now, she had stocked last year a fabric called Sprout by a company called Fabulism, who I looked into at the time, who produce 100% cotton fabrics made and dyed in India with no toxic chemicals, etc., etc. So they look after the people who work for them and have protected prices for their suppliers. And they produce kind of a seasonal release of different patterns. Their fabric is lovely, but narrow because it's quilting cotton. And so Kayleigh and I were having a bit of a chat, and the 2 new colours that really sparkled at me from the season's release were these 2, which is, this one's called Cornflower, and I think this one's called Spring. They have these stitched daisies which are woven in, they're not printed on. You can see on the back there's the stitches running across like you would if you were knitting. So yeah, really beautiful fabric. So those were the 2 from the current season. And then there was this from last season with the kind of amber colour in the middle of the flower, which I thought was really beautiful too. And that's kind of a creamy colour. And I thought that was really lovely. And so Kayleigh got me sent the swatches, which is really helpful. I think whatever you think you see in your head, until you actually put your hands on a fabric, I don't think you know how it's going to be. So it was really interesting to get those. And in the meantime, I started to kind of play about with the smocking idea to kind of get some ideas about how that would work and how I would apply it. I'm going to insert a picture from the Rocking Smocking book for something that I'd seen, but I didn't really want that kind of ruffled edge at the bottom. I wanted it more like the toast one with a cuff around the bottom. But then obviously I was thinking about how the binding the cuff would work and if I needed to do that. So then when the fabric, and I'm kind of trying to play about with the fabric, I start to think about patterns as well and start to imagine how that's going to work. And I have lots of shirt patterns. I have promised you, I know, a shirt vlog, and I will do one because I literally have, I don't know, at least a dozen shirts that I've made. This is probably the most worn top garment of last year, which is my Jenna shirt. This was the toile. It's been worn to death. I didn't actually make the real one at any point, but this I thought would be a really good jumping off point because it's kind of slightly oversized and relaxed. You could quite easily leave off the collar proper and just have a collar stand. And obviously then you would need to increase the width of the sleeve in order to be able to smock it back in to the cuff band. The other one that was in my brain was the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse. Now this is a very old one and is slightly grubby. I think it needs to be hung out in the sunshine a little bit. But again, this has got a cuff. This is like a 3/4 sleeve that's gathered into an elastic cuff. But so some of that would be already, some of the volume's already in. But again, it's still got a neat shoulder. It's not got a poofy shoulder. So that one was also on the run-in. And the third one was the Pattern Scout Byrdie, which if you followed me, I did an October 10 by 10 capsule when I wore this a ton. And this, so that's what I was thinking is actually, if I can get a shirt dress with these sleeves, I think I'll wear that loads because I'll wear it layered over, layered under, and as an individual item in its own right. So that one also comes with a bishop sleeve. So it comes with one with additional volume. I think that's the bishop sleeve actually. So you can see it's got a little bit of additional volume, but not a ton. Those patterns were kind of whizzing around in my head together with the pattern Fantastique Harmonic set top and the True Bias Roscoe blouse. So essentially any shirt pattern would work for this, whatever kind of floats your boat. In the meantime, this got released. So this is the Sewing Therapy Roma blouse and dress. And I thought that this might work as well. So I thought I better whip myself up a toile of this. So this is my toile. I'm not sure the colour is quite got enough warmth for me, but I've really enjoyed wearing it. So yeah, this is possibly still on the cards. And then my fabric arrived. Do you want to see my fabric? So the fabric arrived. This is the fabric. Look at this. Look at this. It's so lovely. So we have a soft blue. We have a stripe. We have a floral. So it literally says, I am made for spring all over it. It has a really nice kind of drape movement and a little bit of structure. So if you wanted to do something that had some pleats in it, it would be lovely. If you wanted to do gathers, it would be softly gathered and they wouldn't be too bulky. So thinking things like the Fabric Godmother Aster or Old School Darling Ranges by Megan Nielsen would be beautiful in this. And as I say, all of those shirt and blouse patterns that I talked about at the start, I think would be stunning in this. A Roscoe in this would be so nice. And I think that that's something that you could wear and wear. And you can see it does crumple because it's 100% cotton, but it kind of gets those really kind of nice crumples, like falling asleep on the sofa crumples, which I think it's just, yeah, it's a very beautiful fabric. A side note, when a fabric arrives, it kind of lets me know what it wants to be. I've alluded to this before. And this was quite happy to be lots of things, actually. I could see in it like a shirt, any kind of shirt dress. So something like Hinterland by So Liberated would look lovely in it, or a Lyra would look really nice in it, or a Maya Sotis would look lovely as well. I'm going to put some pictures of the other things that was inspiring me to be. I think Roma dress in that fabric would look really, really pretty, as would any kind of wrap dress. So there's a By Handland and Hannah wrap, which I think would look really nice, as would the Elodie. That would look really pretty. It's kind of got like a soft structure, so it's not going to ever look very formal, but it is always going to look kind of naturally beautiful. Don't know whether that makes sense. Or you could do a skirt. A skirt would be really nice. I kind of want a pair of chanterelles in it, just so I've got a pair of daisy chanterelles. But yes, I have one piece of fabric, and that was what it to be. I say I have one piece of fabric, but I'm just started the last Sewist Standing, so I'm not buying any fabric. But Kayleigh put these fabrics up on the last day that you were allowed to buy fabric and sew. And so I may have nipped on and bought myself some of this one as well. Because having made this, I kind of wanted to either do this or the Roscoe in the cream one as well. So yeah, I don't know whether you'll get to see that in the spring make. That might not come quite so soon, but you can see that one hasn't been washed. But yes, I thought that was really pretty as well. So I've got that one as well. So I have the fabric. I have, I think, the pattern, which is the Pattern Scout Byrdie with the bishop sleeve. And we have to kind of start the playing process. So I am making a Pattern Scout Byrdie with a bishop sleeve with a hack into the smocked sleeve. Hang on. Now this is wet. Sorry, because I was rinsing my dots off so that you could see the smocking. I'm hoping if I hide, you'll be able to see the smocking. So this is where I've got to. And so so I've only done one. It takes a really long time because you're stitching. So there will be a process video on the next one, but you like pleat it and then you stitch across it to make the pattern. So this is a really simple honeycomb pattern. This is about as simple as it gets. But yeah, I'm hoping that kind of gives you an idea about where we're heading. So I'm making a white one to start with because you can never have too many white shirts. Yeah, I think that will come in useful in the meantime as a wearable toile. And you know how I love a wearable toile. So go along to Kayleigh's website. It's linked down there. Go and check her out. I know some of you have been already. Kayleigh has set up a spring sewing section on the website, which has some very beautiful fabrics, including my ones. And one that I showed you the last time I did a Friday sews, which is so pretty. So yes, go and have a little look and see if there's anything that floats your boat for spring sewing. And let me know what you're planning to make for spring. So I'm looking forward to catching up with you next time when you see how I've got on with the white toile blouse and whether I've cut into the beautiful spring fabric. So I hope that you have enjoyed hearing the process of how my brain kind of works. And that you want to see what happens in part 2. So yeah, join me. And if you press the little notification bell, you'll get to know when part 2 is released, because I'm not sure when part 2 is going to be released. And I shall see you again soon. And I shall say bye-bye for now and God bless.